This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Porto Barrinha Farm. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game at ModHub, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now I will say I am not going to try to read the description because the description is just riddled with words that I find very difficult to pronounce and go through. So the gist of this map is that there are 3 farm areas. The map has additional crops in black beans, millet, rye, sorghum, rice, and another grass. There is 1 main grain sell point. We also have a sell point for sugarcane and our root crops in potatoes and sugar beets. There is a small logging area as well as a area for sale of cotton, wool, milk, eggs, and such. And this is a Brazilian map, as you can see from the preview. Now, before we get into the map, this video is brought to you by Etienne Marin. Thank you for being a farm baron. Let's go ahead and load on in. Go ahead and pick the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these maps. I will say, if you load this map up with seasons, it does not have a seasons mask. All that means is if you have hay or straw, it will not rot if you leave it outside. Also, this map does not have a custom soil map. So if you load this map up with precision farming, you will be using the generic soil map. Let's go ahead and load here. And you'll see that we start out at 6 a.m. and it is kind of dark. Now, if you load this map up with seasons, it is very dark when you start on in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. Take a look at the lands. You'll see we start out by owning the farm here, where we do have some equipment, as well as field 12. There is another farm area down here by field 21. $242,000. We have a horse area here to the north, $251,000. And this is kind of a large farm area that really just feels like it's a little village for $257,000. Now, if we take a look at some of the bigger fields on the map, we have field 10, $1.8 million for 105 acres or 31.21 hectares. Field 23 is 31.26 hectares at 83.84 acres, $1 million. Then we have smaller fields like field 14, which is 2.92 acres at $42,500. Field 17, 3.7 acres, $45,000. So quite the array of field prices. You can also see when we take a look here, we've got contour lines around most of these fields. So this looks a lot like some of those other Brazilian maps that we have seen to date. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how the generic soil map maps out around these fields. We see a big swath of sandy loam and loamy sand here in the middle, surrounded by loam, as is typical with the generic soil map. We've got a bit of silty clay to the north and, of course, to the south. Take a look at our sell points. We have 1 main sell point for the bulk of our grain crops. We have 3 sell points for potatoes and sugar beets. We have 1 sell point that is for potatoes, sugar beets, and sugarcane only. And then we have the Feira, which is kind of a fair, according to the description, that is going to take potatoes, sugar beets, cotton, eggs, wool, and milk. That is also the same sell point. It's going to take wood chips, silage, hay, straw, and grass. There is no pre-placed BGA here on this map. And there we can see our additional crops. And if we load this up with straw harvest, the fair is also going to take our pellets. We do start with a very modest list of starting equipment here. And there are no animals at the start. We do indeed have contracts available to us. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting equipment. Start out John Deere 6155M and the Star ST Max 180. So tractors range in horsepower from 164 to 180. We have the John Deere T560 harvester. It is paired up with the 625X grain header as well as the 608 corn row header. We have the Bandit 750 trailer. We have the Agromaz POH5 plow, the Stara Series Master 3570 seeder, and that is our starting equipment. Take a look here at our placeables. You'll see that we do not have any custom placeables as far as animal pens go. Miscellaneous, there are actually no traditional silos on the map. We believe if you want to store your grain here at the main starting farm, you're going to have to dump it in a building. There are no custom sheds, and as I said, there are no sleep triggers here on this map. So here we are, kind of at our starting house. If you want to put a sleep trigger down, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. There are no sleep triggers anywhere else. Come on around here. We will see our machinery shed where we have our two tractors. John Deere is configured with rear duals. We have our headers, our harvester, plow, and seeder also inside of this shed. We have a water trigger right here, our trailer, and then this is the shed. I believe that if you're going to store your grain here at the farm, you're going to have to either put down your own silo or tip inside of this building here. Got a little bit of a ramp, and then we have what I guess are farm hand houses here along the side. And that, guys, is pretty much the main starting farm. Let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We'll take a look around the map. We'll come back to the shop and then do our drive. So you can see below we have our main shop. We see we have some contour lines. We have our animal dealer directly across the street from our farm. Our grain sell point is right there. Now, it's not so easy to get to because we do have a highway system that we're going to have to navigate. We have a lime sell point directly below there, that white spot. Directly across from us, we have the root crop sell point. Here we have big old field 9 and 10, again with those contour lines. Way off to the north, we have the animal pen, the cow pen, and then we have over here in the northeast of the map, this is kind of that little town and farm area I talked about. So just go ahead and make this our starting direction. You'll see we have another water tower. We've got a couple sheds there, but the rest of this whole area is kind of just set up as a town. We got a little bit of a church going on. Let's go ahead and kind of skirt across the northern part of the map here. Coming up to our cow pen. I think we'll go ahead and explore the cow pen since this really is the only thing up here this far north of the map. I don't think there's too much of a reason to double back up here in the Mahindra. So we have our cow buy point, delivery point right here. 200 cattle can go in this particular pen. We have our manure point. We have our slurry trigger. We have our food trough. We have our milk trigger. Again, we use the animal pen extension mod, and that's what puts this Lily's milk sale machine here. This is what helps us locate the milk trigger. We can also reposition that and then use it for automatic milk sales. And then our water trough is actually hidden over here in the grass. Like I said, it's completely hidden, completely covered up in the grass. But that is our water trough, and here is our water pipes. Again, this is part of the animal pen extension mod, and 1, helps us locate the water trigger, and 2, confirm if there is or is not support for the animal pen extension mod built in. Now, one thing to be a little cautious about is we do have these kind of 2D trees going on behind this mask of other trees. We're coming over here to the kind of the root crop cell point, the sugarcane cell point right here. We're going to want to dump right there. And then on the other side of these trees, we're going to find our log cell point. Right there. Now the wood chips are down here by the main road. We get a good view of this interstate system. I have to say the traffic is moving awful slow. We've got a couple interchanges. We've got a circle. I thought this was pretty cool. I don't know if this is like a, I guess this is the entry gate to the large factory up there on the hill. Thought that was kind of cool. Over here we have our gas station. This is the fair. This is where we're going to sell our milk, our eggs, our bales, our loose silage, and whatnot. And I would say that this is set up to put a placeable biogas plant should you so wish. But the problem with that is it is down here in the typically unbuyable stuff, $11.2 million to make use of this particular area. So I think this really needs to be set up as a separate individual buyable land area as opposed to being lumped in with everything else. Over here we have another small farm. We've got a couple buildings and another water trigger. And then that comes with field 22 right here. And then if we continue on down the interstate, or the highway system, we will get to our grain sell point, as well as our vehicle shop. So our grain sell point is here to our right, and then our vehicle shop is right here to our left. Now, I will say that I tried to locate the buy, sell, trade, and repair trigger here at the shop, and I could not find one. So I don't think there is a place to come to the shop to sell your machinery. I think you're just going to have to do that from the menus. We do have a very large spawn area for our vehicles to spawn in at. I will show you there's nothing around the back here to indicate any sort of trigger zone to activate the buy sell trade trigger. So here we have our scale. Doesn't look like the scale is operational. We have our grain dump. We can dump on either side of this area. Here's where our main grain dump station is. It is set up to be able to come in here with a road train of large trailers. So that is good to see. Nice easy way in, a nice easy way out. And I guess we would have to, we'd have to go out this way and then come around. Well, like I said, we've got some pretty slow traffic here on this highway system. Cut through here and get to our animal dealer. As I said in the flyover, we have a lime buy point right there by this field. I didn't see that fence there. And then down here we have our animal trigger. Right there. And right across the road, that is the entrance up to our farm. And then what we'll do is we'll just drive on up this long kind of access road. To the circle and then hop up on the highway system. It is a very nice, I like this highway system. We'll get off here and head on up to that root crop area. I guess these ponds over here to the left are kind of sediment ponds. There we have the dry solids that are being exported or output from the factory. We're going to have a side dump trailer here. And then again, this is really set up for some big trailers because we have this nice sweeping long curve to then get back out of this particular area. And with some of these real large fields, you're definitely going to want to be bringing things in by the road train quantity load, right? Yeah, talk about a long way out of here. on our wheels. Perfect. Hit the landing. And over here we have the fair. And this particular sell point is going to be for our pellets, our slurry, our manure, our hay, straw, grass, and silage, wood chips, wool, cotton, eggs, milk, as well as sugar beets and potatoes. This is a very interesting treatment up here on the tunnel. We kind of have an image of a tunnel, give you a little bit of a false perspective of the tunnel continuing on. We have our fuel trigger, and we already talked about that placeable area, which really isn't that useful given the fact that that it's so expensive because it's tied to all of the map boundary area, the unplayables, or the unbuyable area. Over here we have kind of a gated area into another agricultural area. We've got 3 storage buildings and a water trigger. And guys, that is pretty much the map. So let me go ahead and find out what you all think of this map in the comments. I think it's a pretty interesting map. We don't really often have too many maps from South America or Brazil. I do know that there is a pretty popular player base down there, so it's good to see those guys getting region and area specific maps that hopefully they can enjoy. And hopefully they can comment and tell me if these are really fairly representing the country and the area that they are to represent. And until next time, happy farming.